Hi, Teri here from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is a gift card holder, or it could be a money wallet. The closure is on the back. It's just two brads with some baker's twine wrapped around it. So you can see it's large enough to hold cash if you want it to, or alternatively it can hold a gift card. I've used the Soar Confidently stamp set, and I've also used one of my homemade stencils. This is for the clouds in the background. So let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for all the elements required to create this project. So if you're interested in reproducing it, take a screenshot so you can refer to it later. I'm using Night of Navy card for my gift card holder today, and I'm placing it into the Simply scoreboard with the longest side across the top, and I'm scoring down at 3 3/4 inches and 7.5 inches. Then I'll quarter turn clockwise, so the short side is across the top, and I'm scoring down at 1/2 inch and 4 1/4 inches. I've positioned the cardstock so the 1/2 inch section is on the right. Now on the bottom right and the top right there are small sections that I will remove, and I'll slant cut the remaining 1/2 inch section. Along the baseline I'm going to cut up the vertical score line to separate the tabs and remove the section on the left. I'll then slant cut the sides of the remaining tab. On the top left section needs to be removed. So starting with that bottom right section, I'm making the slant cuts at the same time. I've removed it, and then I'm going to remove the top right hand section. Now when I cut this off, I'm going to remove the score line, so I'm cutting just inside the score line. Now I'm going to separate the two top sections, and again I'm cutting inside the score line. I want to remove it. And when I cut the horizontal score line, I'm going to cut just below it again. So the whole of that score line is removed. Now along the baseline, I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm cutting along the score line but just inside it, and then I'll make a slant cut to remove that section. So this is what you should be left with. On the remaining top section I want to mark the position for the brad, for the closure. Now this will be halfway across and approximately 1/2 inch up. So I've just marked it with a pencil, and then I can use my piercing tool just to make the hole. I also want to mark the halfway point on the top of the section adjacent to it. So I'm just measuring it off, and I'll mark this with my pencil. Now I'm going to punch out a part circle from this top edge, and to do that you can use any circle punch you have or circle die. Now sadly Stampin' Up have retired their circle punches now, but I'm still using mine. But if you haven't got this particular one, which is 1.5 inches, don't worry, just use what you have. I can now fold on all the score lines and burnish them with my bone folder. When the two 1/2 inch tabs are folded in, they will overlap. So you want to cut away the overlap. So I do this by holding them close and just making a diagonal cut as far in as I can towards the corner, and then I can cut the pieces off. So I'm going to fold them in again, and they're still overlapping a little bit, so I'm going to trim them a bit more. You don't want any bulk in that corner, which is why I'm trimming them away. And now they'll close without touching. Before you start adding glue, you just want to fold everything closed to make sure it folds neatly. If the top flap causes the back panel to buckle slightly, you just want to trim a tiny bit more off of the top edge on that back panel. And then you want to mark the position for the second brad on the back panel. And I marked mine about 1/2 inch down from the bottom of that closure flap. I'm punching out 2 1/2-inch circles from a scrap of basic grey cardstock. And again, you can use any small circle punch or die to do this. Then I'll mark the centre point with a pencil and pierce them with my piercing tool. I'm going to use a couple of our retired silver brads for my project, but you can use any brads that you have. Stampin' Up have started selling brads again, and they sell them in black and white, and either colour would look great for this project. You want to push each of the brads through one of the 1/2-inch basic grey circles and then through the hole you made in the gift card holder. And just open up the split pins on the back to secure them. I'm going to round the 2 corners on the top flap using my detailed trio punch. Now this is completely optional, you can leave them square if you prefer them that way. To put this gift card holder together, I just need to add glue to both of the 1/2-inch tabs. Then they need to be folded in while I bring the back panel down on top of them, and just give them a press down to make sure they're stuck firmly. And then I've got a length of baker's twine here, and I'm just going to wrap it around the top brad and then wrap it in a figure of 8 around the bottom and back up to the top. Then I can trim the ends. For the background panel, I have a piece of normal weight basic white card. Now I'm going to use my homemade stencil for this. If you're interested in seeing how I created the stencil, then I'll leave a link at the top right of the screen to a video that shows you how. Now this stencil has 4 sides and it has a different shaped cloud on each of the sides, so I can vary them. I'm going to use balmy blue ink and I'll apply it using one of our blending brushes. So starting at the bottom of this panel, I'll position my stencil, just take off the excess ink from the brush and then work the ink on the edge of the stencil, just with very light pressure. You can build up the ink to be darker if that's what you prefer. And then I'll repeat that for the rest of the panel, just moving my stencil upwards each time. Here is the Soar Confidently stamp set, and today I'm just going to use the balloon image. I'm stamping on normal weight basic white card and I'm using basic grey ink. I cut out the balloon by hand and I just left a very narrow white border all the way round. And I've gone ahead and added dimensionals onto the reverse. The white mat was die cut using one of the Stitched So Sweetly dies, and it's the 3rd size down or 4th size up in this group. I'm going to add just a little colour to the middle of this mat, again using Balmy Blue ink and my blending brush. And I also want to add a little colour onto the balloon image. Now just where the strings are, where you see the white space, that's supposed to be sky, so I'm just going to lightly colour that blue as well. I want to add a few birds to my sky, and I'm using the birds from the Beautiful Moments stamp set, but you can use any bird stamps that you have. I'm going to stamp the birds on the cloud panel, but I want them to show around the centre mat. I'm using basic grey ink to stamp them with. I have my gift card holder. Then I have a basic grey mat onto which I'm going to layer my cloud panel. Then I have my centre panel and I'm going to layer that onto a Night of Navy mat. And that's it. That's my gift card holder, money wallet, complete. Looking at it now, I think I should have added a couple of birds on the centre panel as well, but never mind. So I can undo the closure and I can add my gift card, which fits in nicely, or I could add cash. And then you can do up the closure again and it's ready to gift. And here is the card that I made to go with it. So again, using all the same products, the die I used from the Stitch So Sweetly is one size larger than I used for the gift card holder. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.